Being between the age 25 to 30 and feeling lost is one of the worst things that could ever happen to you. The reason why is because this is the phase of life when your friends are getting married, your friends are having kids, your friends are buying their first home, your friends are climbing the career ladder, while you, on the other hand, just don't know what to do with life. Well, if you can relate to that, then just give me the next 5 to 10 minutes and I promise you this video will definitely help you. I myself am age 26 right now, so I know exactly how you can feel in this phase of life, especially when you have nothing going on for yourself and you just feel like everything you tried, everything you have done just doesn't work out for you. So first thing I want to get out of the way is that it's okay to feel how you feel. Even though I made my first million by age 23 and everything that I've achieved in my life, even I sometimes feel that way. And it's mainly because we always compare ourselves to someone else's timeline. And that's one of the worst things you can do to yourself. We see people in their 20s or early teens start being millionaires or do some startups that get fundings worth billions and stuff like that. Now, each and every one of us are unique individuals. We all have different timelines, and what we're supposed to get in our own timeline, we're going to get it eventually. We all are going at our own pace. So you can't really compare your life to something and someone who's living in a completely different environment, who has grown up completely with different unfair advantages, and whose mindset is completely different to you as well. But the one thing you have to understand is that if you don't do anything about this, where you're currently feeling stuck, you're feeling lost, you will never actually be able to get out of it. So you will have to work and make changes in your life that will actually help you become a person who you want to become, who can achieve the things that you want to achieve. And in this video, I'm going to share the 5 things that will really help you out. So the first thing I want you to understand is that for you, in your case, in your scenario right now, taking no risk is the biggest risk in your life. And let me explain that briefly. You currently have nothing to lose. The worst that you can lose is money, a bit of money, or you can lose a bit of time. But if you actually take no risk, and by risk, I don't mean you having to invest some money into the stock market or crypto. I mean taking a risk of trying out a different side hustle, trying out a business, trying out things that you really want to try out because you haven't tried out because you're scared. These things are what's going to move the needle for you. These are the things that are actually holding you back right now. And a lot of people, including you, are probably scared to do these things because of what the surroundings, the environment around you might think of you, might judge you. But honestly, when you're going to be 35, 45, 55, 60 on your deathbed, are you really going to not regret the fact that you didn't take those chances in your early 20s or late 20s or early 30s when you actually had a lot more time, you had a lot less responsibilities, and you just decided that, you know what, my cousin, my friend will think this about me, so I'm not going to try. And that's why right now your biggest risk is actually taking no risk at all. The second thing is you should start becoming a jack of all trades. Now, a lot of people nowadays online talk about how you should go deep into one thing and you should just focus fully in this one thing and give your life to it. But I believe that advice is not the best, especially for beginners. Take myself, for example. I made my first million by the age of 23 because back in 2020, when it was COVID, I decided to experiment a ton of different things. I started content creation, I started Amazon, I started trading, I started various things that you could imagine. Now, this allowed me to learn so many skills in different aspects of business and things that I was trying out, that I was eventually able to carve out my own path, because all the experiences that I learned, I was able to put them in my own unique way and get to the place where I was able to make my first million by age 23. Now, a lot of people will judge me on the basis that, oh, but then Hormozi or Gary Vee says that you should go all in one thing, you should cut out all the distractions, focuses. Yes, that's true. But even let's take Hormozi, for example. When he had Gym Launch, he decided to start prep meal business, then a supplement business, all these businesses, and eventually he got to a place where he cut down all the distractions, and then he found out, okay, what am I best at and what's getting me the best results from all the things that I've tried. Now I'm gonna go all in onto that. And that's one thing people don't talk about more often. So I believe being a jack of all trade in 2025 is better than just trying to go all in on one skill, because ultimately you will be much more useful to yourself when you're multi-skilled rather than just single skilled, because then in order for you to even try something out or experiment something else, and you don't have the skills, you will have to go hire someone, and that's going to cost you money. And at the start, you don't have those things. So right now, just be curious. Whatever you think you enjoy, or not even enjoy, but whatever you think you have interest in, just experiment those things. Try them out for 3 to 6 months, and just, if you don't give up, if you just don't quit, there is no way you can fail. Because the simple logic behind failure, the way I think of failure, is that people fail because they have attached a result slash expectation to the actual, like, the thing they're experimenting. And then when they don't get the outcome that they want, they feel like, oh, they have failed, so they're going to quit. Just don't quit, and you will make it. That's what, like, I feel like the reason why I've been able to make it, right, is because I just didn't quit. I just kept going. I've had many failures. I've had businesses that I tried and failed. I've had businesses that I started and lost me hundreds of thousands of pounds. I've had partnerships with people where I failed as well. But if I never experimented, if I never tried all these things, then I would have never been able to get to the place where I am. Now, I'm only giving my examples and talking about me and bragging about me is because I want you to know that I come from the same place as you. I have a family of parents who came to the UK, including me. I came to the UK in 2010, and I didn't know how to speak English properly. My parents hardly made enough for us to even have our own flat. We didn't even have that. We lived in a single room, one small box room. In the UK, a box room is a really tiny room where we lived in there. So I know how it feels and how frustrating it can be sometimes when you just feel absolutely stuck. So that's the second thing you need to understand, is that become a jack of all trades, be curious, try out different things, and then take those experiences, and eventually you can narrow it down and focus on just few things that you're really good at and you're getting the most results. This is the most important thing that I will actually mention in this video, and if you could take away one thing from this video, it's going to have to be this, and that is to upgrade your mindset and your subconscious reprogramming. Ever since we were childs, we have grown up in a specific way. You know, when we see millionaires, right, we see like the kids are so like smart. They can think better than us. They know how to do things. You know why? Because of their environment. Subconscious reprogramming doesn't happen by yourself. It happens through your environment. If your environment has always been that, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, you can't have that, then as you grow, your mindset will have that scarcity of, okay, I can't spend $8 on anything. I can't spend $500 on coaching. I can't spend this. You will absolutely not be able to become the person who can make 10K, 20K, 30K a month at all with that subconscious reprogramming. And that's why mindset is the key thing. And having a growth mindset surface level information, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really deep information like subconscious reprogramming, neuroplasticity, repetition of positive affirmations. These are things that will really help you. And this is something I did in 2020 as well. I did it every single day. When I wake up, I would have a list of affirmations that I would speak aloud. And yes, some people may say, oh, you shouldn't speak affirmations, you should just take action and you should start doing stuff, which is true. But guess what? When you're just getting started and you have no one around you to put that self-belief in you, you just repeating stuff to yourself, your subconscious mind is listening to you and reprogramming it. And then in your daily life, when you don't even know that you're actually making certain decisions because of those affirmations that you have been reading. Because now, when you see £100 thing, back in the days, you would not want to spend £100 on something because you were scared. But by repeating affirmations, your brain will automatically start picking up these patterns. Be like, okay, cool, it's £100 only. I'll just spend on it because it's going to help me in this way, and I'm going to get a return on this through this way and stuff like that. So that's the power of just upgrading your mindset and your subconscious reprogramming. I've actually made a video in the past, especially on neuroplasticity, and neuroplasticity is actually linked to repetition and affirmation. So in science, neuroplasticity simply means that you can reprogram your neural patterns based on repetition. So if you let's say right now, whenever you wake up and you see a bird outside your window, your constant first thing is like, oh, I hate this bird, I just don't like this bird. That's your current programming. But now if you repeatedly every night before sleeping and every morning when you wake up, you're like, I love the bird, I love the bird, I love seeing the bird when I wake up, I love seeing the bird when I wake up, I love seeing the bird when I wake up. And now by just repeating this again and again and again, your neural patterns in your brain will actually rewire them to spark a positive emotion whenever you see the bird. And that's how neuroplasticity works, which you can apply in anything. If your current reprogramming, subconscious reprogramming is that I'm gonna fail, 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 then everything you try, you're gonna fail, or everything you try, you're gonna look for reasons for it to fail. So that's how it simply works. And that's why, yes, it sounds so cliche that, oh yeah, positive self-talk is going to help you out a lot. It will actually help you out because in the long run, it's actually reinforcing those things in your brain and your neural patterns that's actually helping you as well. So if you do it for like a week and then you're like, I didn't see any results, you're not going to see any results. The fourth thing is seek out for mentors. It could be online, so just influencers. For me, it's Alex Ramosi, Gary Vaynerchuk, or offline. This could be books. People who don't even exist in this world, they've written books which are great. That could be your mentors. Or if you're in that space where you can invest 500 to £1,000 on a mentor, that's the best investment you will ever make. And the great thing about mentors is it's like having a better version of a teacher. Like in school, yes, teachers are there to help you out, but a mentor is really there to help you out, right? And yes, you're paying a mentor to learn from them, but hear me out. That 500 or £1,000 that you're spending on them, you're instantly going to get an ROI because the things that you'll be learning from them is actually going to help you avoid the mistakes that's going to cost you the money that you're paying them. So if you think about it, the money that you're investing is just for you to not lose the money, or for you to not waste the time that you would take in order to actually achieve what you're trying to achieve. And another thing with mentors is that you get to stay accountable. And if you don't even want to have a mentor, you don't even want to read books, then what I did was I simply started creating content online. And I started posting myself and showing and documenting my journey online. So this way I was accountable to the world. If I said I was going to do something, I would have to do it because I've shared it to the world. And sometimes if I'm lazy and I don't do it, then the world is looking at me, and now I will look like I'm just a guy who can't stick to my own promises. And so this way, the chance of you actually achieving what you want to achieve is a lot more higher. So that's the fourth thing. Now, the fifth and final thing is something that a lot of you will fall for. And that's something I fell for in my early journey as well, which is shiny object syndrome and not understanding that boring task is what gets the result. So firstly, shiny object syndrome. Every time you will start something new, every time you have done something for a year or 6 months, you will see another popular side business or side hustle or a business opportunity come through, and you're like, oh my God, the grass looks so much greener on the other side. That looks so much better than what I'm doing. I should just go all into that. And this kind of counters to maybe what I've said earlier, which is that try everything. Yes, try everything at the start, but eventually, so this is sort of you now in 12 months into you trying out different things. If you then, after figuring out, okay, this is the thing that's getting the best results, if you then can't focus and narrow it down and just stay focused on that, you will find it harder to keep growing, to get more results and better results, especially because when your focus is in multiple directions, eventually, not at the start, eventually, then you yourself will actually burn out and you feel like you don't have the energy to do all of this together. And I did that as well because I always thought, oh my God, this is better, this is better. It sounds amazing that I run 4 or 5 businesses and I have this many side hustles, this and that. So eventually you have to understand that shiny object syndrome is going to be your biggest enemy. The grass isn't greener on the other side. And repeating the boring task is what gets the results. See, if something is working and is getting you results, in my case, I used to have a business where I was doing something and it was making me money. But I thought, oh, what if I tried that new way? What if I tried that new way? Because that's making this person a lot more money. So should I try that as well? Eventually, I stopped doing what was working for me and I tried that, and I went from making 50, 100,000 to then dropping straight to like 10, 15K. Why? Because I tried changing something that was already working for me to something that I thought was going to work. So this, again, if something is boring and you know it's working, keep doing it. Boring task is actually what's going to get you the most results. So those are the 5 things that I wish someone had told me earlier as well in my own journey. But if you just follow these steps, I can guarantee you that you will be in a much more better place than you are right now. And by the time, if you're currently 26 like me, if you're 27 like me, even if you're 30 years old, by the time you're 32, 30, 31 as well, you will be in a much more better place. Right now, you're just in the place you are at because you're thinking too much but doing less. Just go out there, start doing stuff. Forget what people will think. You do you, because ultimately, it's your life. You're the one who's going to live this. No one else is going to come here to support you, to pay your bills. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, leave me a comment and let me know what other type of videos you would like to see, because I do want to make more of these videos. But yeah, take care guys, have an amazing day. And if you want to start Amazon FBA, go check this video out. And if you want one-on-one coaching from me on how to start your Amazon business, then check out the link in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.